million population, 14 countries, different regulations, different tax systems. Think about, as an e-commerce player, just about the reverse logistics, what a hassle that is in terms of bringing goods back to the original sender. Because of different regulations, different languages, different issues, different cultures. Are you ready in terms of cross-border as a company to address these topics? Do you address the needs of the different countries? How do you manage your cross-border, your reverse logistics? How are your processes in place? Are you able to bring goods from Indonesia to Singapore and send them over to Vietnam and then send them back towards? Bring them from China into Indonesia. Is your logistics ready for that? That's what we try to help to address in our system, because we have built a system where you can, every segment in your whole logistics supply chain can be modeled in our system. So whether it's a customs clearance warehouse office, whether it's a warehouse, whether it's a DC, the operating partners who brings the goods from Jakarta to East Java, brings the goods from here to Sulawesi, to Sumatra, etc., etc. All of that you model in the system. And that brings you the efficiencies to have the whole control over your logistics supply chain. So you model your whole supply chain logistics network, you orchestrate it, you have control over it, you have your outsourced partners who manage the logistics and perform this for you. You have your own assets. This is all monitored in our system. Multi-segments, as I said. Goods can come from overseas, it can be a last mile, it can be a first mile, it can be cross-border, it can be cross-docking, up and spoke, point to point. It doesn't matter. You model it all in our system. It's vanilla. It's clean, it's agile, and it's flexible to do that. Important piece is you want to manage your own assets as well as your outsourced partners. And all of that, you have full control over it. So with that, you don't need to rely on the 4PL, where you say, it's hassle-free for me, but it's very, very costly. You basically take back control of your own logistics. You save money in terms of, in comparison to outsource it, and you have full control. You might think now, okay, it costs me more because I take my own control. No, it doesn't, because you automate it. You integrate it to your ERP system. You get your delivery orders automatically downloaded. You can auto-assign it to your different partners. In your different partners means custom clearance house, delivery first mile, delivery last mile. All of that is automated. The deliveries are happening with an EPOD solution. You complete the deliveries, it goes back into your ERP system, and you can, in an instant, you can start your invoicing. So your order to cash cycle is also closed, which gives you high benefits in terms of cash flow in your operations. You get back control over your logistics. So with that speaking, I would like to invite Johnny from Zuellig Pharma. He's a procurement manager, and he talks about how Zuellig has actually used our system.
Thank you, Marco. Hi everyone, I'm Johnny. I'm the customer of Zyllem. I'm asked to present because we use the system. Just a bit about Zuellig Pharma before I begin on why we use Zyllem system. Zuellig Pharma is actually a leading healthcare service provider in Asia. We have about 90% coverage. We operate in about 13 countries and territories in Asia. It's a 90-year-old company that was founded in Manila. This just shows the geographical coverage of our services in Asia. We deliver direct to the customers. When we say customers, it refers to the hospitals, clinics, and whatnot. Right? And you can imagine that. You can imagine with 320,000 customers in the whole region, the amount of deliveries that we have to do in each of the markets is humongous. And in Indonesia, we are represented by our joint venture subsidiary, APL. For us, Zuellig Pharma, our main business, core business, is the distribution of pharma goods. But we are also providing other services that helps a fully integrated healthcare solutions to connect the healthcare service providers, companies like Pfizer, AstraZeneca, to our end consumers and patients. But today, my focus will be, of course, on distribution for the pharma goods. Talk a bit about the digitization journey for our Zuellig Pharma's last mile delivery. Why do we even bother to do digitization? These are some of the areas that we thought to highlight the needs for the digitization journey. First and foremost, as I mentioned before, we deliver over 13 countries in the region. So there's a high volume. In fact, we have about more than 50,000 drop points a day. Cost management. Last mile delivery is estimated to be about 50% of the total distribution cost. If you manage this portion, we will be able to manage the bottom line. Real-time updates. Very often, every day, customers will call our customer service hotline to ask about the status of the delivery. And we'll have to go through the whole chain of communication to find out exactly where's the orders, when it's going to reach the customer. I can't even tell how long it will take to find out for each order. So you can imagine the multiple inquiries each day that we have handled. We need a process that is efficient and accurate. We need a system to help us. It cannot be done manually. By having a system to capture the various data in our last mile delivery, we'll be able to have insights and see how we could optimize our delivery and cut costs further. And of course, sales recognition. By having an e-delivery system, we'll be able to recognize our sales faster and therefore able to collect money from our healthcare companies faster as well. So with this, all these needs in mind, we want to have a system to help us. But the thing is, in 2015, 2 years ago, when we started largely on this digitalization journey, because the nature of the history of the company, we have a very decentralized process. Each market operates by itself. And we have various systems in place in different countries. The first 6 countries listed there have some systems in place. The good news is there are systems in place. But the bad news is all 6 systems are different. So we don't have a common system to help give the visibility for our distribution process. So we started with sourcing and looking for a partner, a suitable partner to help us solve the problem. And we chanced upon Rocket Uncle at the time. Zyllem was known as Rocket Uncle, a crowdsourced courier service company. And they took up the challenge to develop an enterprise-specific solution to help customize our last mile delivery. Since that it's founded in Singapore, so of course we started the trial for our Singapore business entity in 2016. It was successful. We outlined our process and we implemented the system with our delivery, and we proceed with the contract signing, and then that's also when they changed the name to Zyllem. And then we work together to improve the system better, to input more capabilities to the system to handle exceptions, and we're now trying to expand it further to other countries. We rolled out in Malaysia this year. We are going to Philippines and hopefully in Vietnam by next year. So from the data that we gather, we hope that we will be able to do optimization for our delivery fleet. Talk a bit about the Zyllem solution. This is the last mile delivery process that was mapped up. This is just one process of the many types of deliveries that we do every day. This is the main pharma goods, and you can see that there's a lot of different conditions, right? 1 to 8, depending on how the customer reacts. Sometimes the customers may not be there when the driver is there, and sometimes the customers hold on to the hard copy proof of delivery, and the driver would have to return back to the warehouse empty-handed. So how do we track all this movement? So Zyllem system helps us to map out the process and help us to track both the physical goods as well as the proof of delivery. I'd like to highlight the 4 key strengths of the solutions that we implemented. First and foremost, if you have seen the previous presentation, it's all talk about control tower view. So obviously this system allows us to have the control tower view. Operations will be able to see where all the drivers are and able to tell when the next delivery is. Customer service, I think, is very important, especially when we are trying to customize the systems to suit our needs because of the highly regulated pharma distribution market. So Zyllem has been very quick in the response to our issues. Even though some of the technical issues may not be ours, they try to help us to troubleshoot where could the problem be and bring us to a faster solution. Capabilities. There are a lot of capabilities that's already that is packed in the Zyllem solution, right? But there is one key ones that I would like to highlight is that for Zuellig Pharma, even though we have been in the market for 90 years, most of the addresses that we have are not easily found using even Google Maps. There's a lot of difficulties in trying to pinpoint our customer's location accurately. So they have this capability of the geo address validation. So if let's say, because they are also using Google Maps to help us to map out the customer's location. So if a given address, a registered address in the Google Map is appeared on a certain location, but the driver has always been delivering to this customer at another location that appears on the map, we could validate it, the operations team could validate it and just drag the old registered address point to the driver location and validate and capture the geolocation of that new address. And all this will be embedded into our system as well. It really helps us to clean up our whole address database. We could monitor the driver's performance. As this is especially important when it has an offline status update, where mobile network may not be as strong in rural areas delivery, because we deliver up to the really remote areas as well. So the drivers will still update the status when the mobile network is not strong, and when the network is back up, the status will be uploaded into the system for the operations team to see. We'll talk about the optimization algorithm, but I want to talk about the auto three-way match. Although it's not directly linked to Zyllem, whatever data that we are able to receive from Zyllem, we'll be able to push into SAP, and in future we hope that with this resolute data, we'll be able to match against what our 3PL providers has delivered for us against the rates that they charge, so that we will be able to validate the invoices they send to us without any need for manual matching, and we will be able to make payment to our suppliers. It's highly customizable. Currently, Zyllem is helping us to customize the process, but in future, we'll be able to do it on our own. It's like a building blocks of various modules of the capabilities that we want. In future, if the process changes due to regulations or anything, we could be able to self-help and change the process accordingly within the system, within the portal. I hope I didn't overshoot the time. Thank you.
Thanks, Johnny, for that. I think, as you heard, we help Zuellig Pharma in running their business better. But I think the most important factor for us is as well that we have a strong partnership where we also constantly get input in terms of what are regulations, what are changes in the processes, what are requirements from the product perspective, and we want to evolve our product better. You might ask yourself, what is Zyllem? Why the name? So, I don't know, but if you might remember from biology class, there are two transportation tissues in biology. One is xylem, X-Y-L-E-M, and the other one is phloem. And basically both of them transport nutrients and water from the root to the scoot. So that's our mission. We basically help companies to deliver goods to the farthest branch in their logistics. So we are constantly improving our products especially with the help of our customers like Zuellig Pharma, and we are basically working on topics like in-route optimization, algorithms, how to perform better the route optimization. So topics like connecting via API to beacons of the car to understand better for certain locations what's the delivery time. You can imagine if you need to deliver to a, let's say to a Circle K, to a 7-Eleven, where the truck can stop right in front of the store, the delivery time might be 3 minutes. But if you need to deliver to a condo in Singapore, you need to enter the security guard, take down your particulars, park the truck, go up to the 33rd floor, drop the goods in a B2C scenario, come back to the car. That might take you 20 minutes. Multiplied by 3 or 4 deliveries throughout the day, it completely messes up your route optimization and your route planning. So we want to be more precise for our customers to optimize this route planning, and that's what we are doing right now in our involvement of our product. This is just one of the topics. Other things we do is blockchain and also like looking into on-premise solutions, because in some countries, like here in Indonesia, it's more difficult to have a cloud solution in place. So we are working on that as well with our partner HP in doing that. So yeah, we have a booth here, A10, which is basically when you come out. It's just 10 meters away from here, so I'm happy to share with you more insights on that. I just want to take you one thing back. We talked about the energy drink in the beginning, right? It's about, don't forget, we need to think disruptive, and we need to think out of our box. None of us, and you brought up the example about Coca-Cola and gas station sales, right? But none of us, and including myself, in the first place thinks about what's the biggest threat for energy drinks. So we need to broaden our thinking in terms of being disruptive in the industry, but also in terms of how we move forward. So if you want to take one thing from the session here, we help customers to manage the logistics, but keep the disruptive thinking in place, and we are disruptors in the industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you.